Hello again, Nick with CC Minis here. Today, I messed up that little border thing that I do around the corners. It's way off. Anyway, I'm gonna show you how I made this counts as steam tank thing out of this creepy little kid's toy. Now I know what you're thinking. That doesn't look all too creepy. What are you talking about, Nick? Listen to this.
Hello, friends! Let's learn the 1, 2, 3 and have some fun! Please press a button. Time for me to go! Time for me to go!
Time for me to go.
Bye-bye!
Bye-bye. See, that's just a little too creepy for me. It's gotta go. You might be wondering why I chose to use another kid's toy instead of, buying a GW model or some sort of other model kit, and, well, those things are just a little too expensive sometimes. And as a dad, quite frankly, I have plenty of these toys just laying around. Now, a little birdie may have told me that if you were to look at places like Goodwill here in the States, you can get one of these for $1.99. But that's, totally not how I got this. No, I stole it from my son. Anyway, let's see what we got in here. Look at all these cool parts we get to work with. On my last video, a lot of y'all commented on how blown away you were, how I could see that first steam tank out of the toy guitar. People saying I was creative or talented or, worth more than dirt, but really that's just not true. What you didn't see me was taking all these little different pieces of plastic and junk and just kinda smacking them together like a curious buffoon. But what is pretty cool is that once you get just a couple of pieces together, things start to click. Give everything a nice sanding so that the super glue can, grab onto it pretty well. And file down any excess plastic and just start slapping stuff together. It's really fun. There's really no rhyme or reason to it most of the time. Just grab a part that you think looks cool, or maybe it reminds you of like a gas tank on a car. Just throw a bunch of stuff together. If you're making different models for an army, it's always good to check and make sure that they're at least relatively the same size. Both of these are going to be steam tanks here. Sometimes you might see a piece you like at first and do a whole bunch of work to it. Sand it down, clip off all the different pieces and parts. Make it as close to what you want as you can, but then you see a different part that'll look better, and you just gotta be okay tossing that one aside like a piece of garbage it is. I really like the round shape of this wheel. It made me think of like a steam tank or some sort of big energy barrel thing. I don't know, man. It's round. It's pretty cool. What do you think? Cool. Neat. Good to hear. I'm not sure if you can tell at all, but I used 2.5 bottles of super glue to build this thing. That's a lot of super glue. When did super glue become $4 a bottle? That doesn't make any sense to me. I ended up looking online, and did you know that you can order super glue in bulk? For the same price as getting 4 or 5 of these little tiny 5-gram bottles, you can get an 8-ounce bottle. 8 ounces. It's crazy. I just started using it. It works pretty well. Link is in the description. It's one of those Amazon affiliate links, so if you end up purchasing it, I'll get a small amount in commission, and it helps the channel grow and stuff. If you'd like to support the channel in another way, you could always like, comment, and subscribe on this video. That helps YouTube push it to more people. Or I started a Patreon, so if you want to come yell at me in Discord and tell me to make videos faster, well, I got a deal for you. Check out the link below. I'm liking how this is looking so far, and I would say that at this point the major shapes are completed. Ooh, wait a minute. I need to add a couple up. This little piece is gonna work great. Alright, I'm really happy with this so far. Let's clean up a little bit around here. Now, a lot of you may be some big fans about my next material choice. Computer parts. Okay, yeah, fans in particular. Fans. It's fan. Now, these fans have been sitting in my closet for about, I don't know, 4 or 5 years now, so maybe it's time to give them a better home. Computer parts in general always look a little futuristic, so they make great sci-fi greebles. Or is it greeblies? I don't really know. Can one of y'all let me know in the comments below? Thanks. Alright, let's see what's at the very center of this Tootsie fan. Now that looks like a perfect little energy gun. I mean, look at this thing. Little spools of wire and magnets, and I don't know, it's pretty awesome. I bet if we added some beads to this, it would look just like a little energy gun. While I wasn't shopping at Goodwill for kids' toys, I also picked up this little mesh basket. I'm hoping that the metal mesh can be pulled apart and used as like a 2-scale chicken wire. This stuff was a little hard to work with and finagle into the right space, but I thought it did a great job looking like, I don't know, almost chain link fence. Alright, let's add a couple beats to this gun and make it something special. Zap! Zap! Zip! This is just too much fun. Alright, let's add some gears and make this a little more steampunkier. Try not to go too crazy with gears though, or your build's gonna look like some sort of crazy clock monstrosity. Alright, let's add some rivets. I've been cutting up plastic styrene for this, but I was wondering if any of you guys have better material for making rivets. These are just a little too oblong and it's hard to keep the size consistent, so any suggestions would be really helpful. Riveting is a very riveting activity though. Just look at how this turns from beat up muscle car kind of look to beat up war machine kind of look. Alright, time to make some little legs for this walking tank. This technique was inspired by and stolen from Bill Making Stuff. If you'd like to see a true bead artist at work, go check out Bill's channel. I'll try to put a link here. If it doesn't work, it's going to be down in the description. There we go. A nice bouquet of legs right there. Now it's time to add some more beads to make up the segmented leg. I'm going for the regular, too tall donut shaped bead here. I like the size of them. Alright, you guys know the drill. Time to put a couple holes in the bottom of this steam tank. These holes will allow me to sneak that last bit of wire into the steam tank as like a base to the legs. Oh, perfect! Our pilot is here. Oh, hey, are you building a steam tank up there? Can I help? Whoa. We're gonna have to get rid of a couple of extra appendages. Oh God, my legs! Oh. Oh goodness! Why? Why? You monster. Alright, I'm gonna give this a prime to see what we're working with so far. Ooh, yeah, that looks pretty cool. But let's get some goop on there. It's looking a little too smooth. I'm gonna use my 2 favorite Games Workshop goops alongside with a new goop to this channel, acrylic modeling goop. I apply the desert flavored crackly goop all over the model quite liberally. In contrast though, the Arctic snow flavored goop I also applied very liberally. Just get this stuff everywhere. Have fun. You've earned this. The acrylic modeling goop is old. I mean, like, real old. Look, the little preservative aluminum sheet is even starting to turn into dust. But, I mean, nothing's too old to stick a finger in, right? Let's give it a shot. Oh boy, that may be too much goop right there. Oh well, we'll make it work. A little bit of paper towel goes a long way to clean up any extra goopage you may have gooped all over your goopy model. Time to hit this with the old Dry Faster 5000 and prime it up again. And hit it with another Zenithal prime once the goop is dried and all the crackles are crackly. Nice. Alright, now it's time to get our paint on. Just like with the last steam tank, I plan on using hairspray as a chipping medium. So I want to lay down a nice base coat first before laying the true color of the model. This will add some nice contrast to the actual paint color once it starts to chip. Using hairspray is easy enough. First you just spray it into a little cup to decant it, then add it back to an airbrush and spray it over the model where you want the chips to happen on the top coat. I decided to go with yellow for this tank. Eventually I'll make another red one, and that'll complete like a primary color trifecta of 3 steam tanks for my all kids toys, kitbashed Cities of Sigmar army that I'm slowly building. Once that top coat is dry, it's time to bring out some water and start chipping away at it. I started out with some Q-tips this time, but I felt like the different chips and crack were starting to get a bit too large, so I decided to switch to a toothbrush. This way of doing things was definitely less controlled, but I think more fun to do. It really felt like I was brushing one giant steam tanky tooth. It was quite fun. The chips and cracks are much smaller and I think fit the scale a little bit better. I painted all the trim and all the gears, as well as some other little parts and doodads, this nice bronze color. I really like the way it looks. I mixed up a rubbery color for the legs by combining a jade paint with a dark gray paint. Then I used that same rubbery color on all the wires of the model. Next up was going around the model with this nice bright steel color. I did it to all the little rivets, chicken grates, and a couple other places. Then I added the red to a select few wires to give them some variety. Then I did some freehand with some super bright ivory color. Little racing stripes like this give this like a almost retro classic car feel to me. I added a nice big B at the side. I think it's B for Bagak, because this is starting to look like a chicken tank to me. Plus it keeps it on theme with all the kids' toy stuff. I'll have one A, B, C, and then maybe another set of steam tanks can be 1, 2, 3, or, you know, something like that. Now that the freehand and overall base colors are done, it's time to go back in and make the rust a little bit more rusty looking with a nice dull orangey color. Remember that gouache wash I made last time? Well, here it is. See, all I have to do is add a couple drops of water now and remix it, and I got that nice gouache wash going. Just slather it on there. Really go to town. Don't you dare leave any nook or cranny not brown. As always, the cool part about gouache is you can just take some water to reactivate it and pull off what you don't want. This way I can bring back some highlights after the gouache wash. Alright, now let's take some bright yellow paint and make these paint chips look just a little more chipper. Adding in a nice bright highlight will make it look like the paint is starting to peel up. It's just a little bit more realistic. Now let's take some black paint and add some shadows underneath those paint chips. I painted up the Hobbit off screen just because, you know, sometimes it's nice just to paint for me. To add a little bit more dimension and contrast, I started going around different recesses and the underside of the model with a dark brown through my airbrush. Oh yeah, I'm really liking this so far. So, I was really excited to show you this next step. But, well, you may have noticed I have a newer camera. And although it's much higher quality video, it goes through memory so unbelievably fast. So, yeah. So instead of showing you guys how I did this OSL, I'm just gonna show you how it looks with OSL. I promise I'll make it up to you on the next scratch build. Anyway, let's add some nice soft pastel corpses to this in the form of weathering pigments. This last step does a great job mirroring the desert base to the model. It really does make it look like the steam tank has been walking around the desert for a while. Last time I used this stuff, a couple people asked me if they should seal it at all, and I mean, yeah, you should. Use a matte varnish, it'll keep the dust from flying everywhere and getting all over your table and stuff. My favorite is the Army Painter Anti-Shine through an airbrush. It just has the best finish for me. Now, like I said earlier, I started a Patreon, and I'd like to thank my very first patron. Not Nick's wife. Now, I have no idea who that could possibly be, but if you're interested in supporting the channel and being one of my very first patrons, you'll find the link below. It's got all the standard Discord benefits and stuff, but I'm really new to this, so maybe it's something we could grow together. Anyway, here's some final shots of the steam tank. I really hope you enjoyed the build. It was a fun one. As always, I will see you next time. Everyone, stay healthy and take care. Bye-bye now.